Hello, one and all, Ryker here. Today is the yearly report for all the mist sorts for all the year. I'm going to give you percentages, estimates, and the raw numbers of what I have physically caught on the 4/8 split. Now, before we get into that, some of you be wondering, why? Why am I doing this? In the beginning, it was actually out of spite, because I was constantly told every time I got like 4 or 5 fives in rapid succession, yeah, it was bad, at least in my opinion. And at that point, I said, okay, I will now keep track of everything. And I'm not joking. I have kept track of everything. I even have a bigger book for this year. But as time went on, I realized something, especially after a comment was made on my April mist-sort video, where some dude decided to stake his claim on FedEx being the worst company in the world. I realized that the towers are not actually doing that bad. It just looks bad. So now I will get into how much I have caught on the 4/8 split for the entire year. I caught, man, still gets me every single time that I see it. I caught 7,822 packages on the 4/8 split. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, how much does your facility get? I can only give you an estimate. I estimate around 6.7 million packages a year comes through our facility, and that's actually down from previous years. If you divide 7,822 and divide that by 6.7 million and then times that by 100, you will get your percentage, and that'll put you at roughly around 0.12%. 0.12%, and that's just the raw. That is what I have caught and have seen on the 4/8 split of every single mist sort. Now, I also do have an estimate. Some of you might be wondering, how are you able to get the estimates of how many packages when you weren't up at the 4/8 split? And I can only say that after a year, after being at FedEx for 3 years, you start to pick up a few things, including flow rate and how much you do a day. Tells you a lot about how much the towers will actually miss. So if any of you have looked at my books, you'll see certain days where it just says autos. Those are automated guesses of mine of one, the flow rate and how much we got. I added it all up, and the estimated total comes to 11,322. And if you do the math like I stated previously, that gives you a 0.17% mist-sort rate. And if any of you are wondering, yes, that is basically the same percentage of the April video. But that's not all I've done. I also counted how many days I was actually up in the towers, and since I have records on which days I was there and which days I wasn't, I was up there 159 days out of a total of 262. Actually, it's less than that because there's like 11 holidays that I didn't calculate, but that's 60% of the entire year for weekdays. But I did more than that. I calculated the average of every single belt percentage. So I think you guys will get a kick out of this. So this percentage rate is by the raw mist sorts. So if you take the belt numbers that I'm about to give you and divide that by the raw mist sorts and then times that by 100, you will get the percentages that I'm about to give you. So belt 1, I had caught 527 packages that were supposed to be delivered to them. That is 6.7% of the entire mist-sort load that I caught. Belt 2, I caught 535 packages. That is 6.8%. Belt 3 at 529. That is 7.8%. Belt 6, I caught 976 packages, which is 12.4%. Belt 7, which is the least amount out of everything here, I caught 238, which is just a mere 3% of the total raw amount that I caught. Now, some of you may be wondering well, where's Belt 5? Well, I just saved the best for last. Belt 5, I caught 5,027 packages from Belt 5 for the entire year. and that's 64.2%. To let my average viewer know how much that is basically 2.5 days worth of packages for one belt. Now here's the best part about this. There's an unspoken rule that people try to do at the 4/8 split if they're able to, which is since the belt 5 is right behind you, it's just as easy as picking up the belt 5 that is on the 4/8 split and then just turning around and placing it on the belt 4, belt 5. As the year went on, I also started keeping track of other things like my own missed packages, missing vision labels, and outbounds, because those were starting to become a problem as well. So my missed packages aren't very accurate because I can't catch everything and I can't see what I've not caught. So outbound is 88 packages, and that's only because I started keeping track of them in April and I didn't see anything until May. Missing vision labels. This is actually a problem. 523 packages did not have a label on them, despite me basically turning the package into a Beyblade just to find where the package is so that it could go on its way. Don't worry, even though I make it sound horrific of what I just did to the package, I'm actually not moving it that fast. And before Supervisor A of Unload goes and figures out what the issue is with all these missing vision labels of 523 packages, I should let you know now that I have seen some of these labels fly off on the slide to the 4/8 split. Like, they become the Nets Tony Hawk doing flips and backflips, and some of them even start rubbing up against each other because of that slide, and it actually transfers to another box, which is another issue. Now, missed packages, from what I've been able to count, even though this isn't a very accurate summary, is 149 packages of what I've been able to see. And these missed packages are all belt 8s. Out of the entire year, that's 149 packages. Now, I don't have a percentage for this. Now, I do have some goals for the rest for this year that we are now in, which is 2025. I plan on actually adding more to my list to keep track of. I'm going to keep track of two things. One, I'm going to be keeping track of my own call-ins. Yes, I'm going to be outing myself just to see why I called in or was not up there at that time. Like, I'm going to keep a very detailed notebook this year. And two, double tags. This is also becoming an issue because I'll get a box that says it either goes to 7 or 4. And at that point, I could hear my managers and supervisors say, just look at the date. Sometimes you don't have time for that. But I actually have a question for my managers and supervisors. What would you like me to try and keep track of at the 4/8 split? Because I'm not stopping doing this, because this helps a lot. Keeping track of things to keep my mind focused and busy while standing up there at the 4/8 split. Like, most people actually hate being up there because of how boring it can be. Me? Nah, I found my occupation while I'm up there. But that is the yearly report for the mid-sorts at the 4/8 split. Tell me what you think. Were you impressed by the main towers? But in my opinion, I am deeply impressed with the main towers. And this is coming from someone who does the easiest of all the towers. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Ryker telling you to have a good day, a good night, and let's see what 2025 can do.
And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.